In this color, we're working on a Bosch tankless. This is an aquastar. Let's see, what's the model number? Model number is a GWH240 natural gas. So it's 240,000 BTUs. Well, let's see. No. 175,000 BTUs minimum. It's 36 modulates. So we came up with a EC code, and it's flame detection code. So what we're going to do is we're going to check a flame sensor back here, probably order a new one. But another thing I noticed is there's an intake. This is intake right here. All this is intake. The screen is plugged. This is for me, you know, this part you can see through is basically for me rubbing it with my finger, feeling if it was up there. But this is pretty much plugged up. So there's most of the problem is the thing couldn't breathe. But I am going to order a flame sensor for this just in case, and I'll get this cleaned up. But other than that, I think this was the main reason why this tankless heater wouldn't fire or was throwing codes up, because it couldn't get enough air. Well, we got some dust and debris in here, and we'll check the venting outside too. Yes, we got the flame sensor out and the igniter. Here's the igniter. Here's the flame sensor. It came out of that spot right there. It's a doozy to get out of there. Heat exchanger looks alright. It doesn't look like it's plugged up with soot or anything. You know what? I'm just going to clean these up, and it should be okay. The reason why they're so nasty is no maintenance has been done to this piece of equipment. I mean, if you look at that igniter, it's got some years on it. Should clean it up, they'll be alright. Let me get that cleaned up. We'll get this thing back in, go outside, look at the venting outside. I want to get this glass cleaned up too, so I can see what's going on in there when it fires. Let me get that off. I'll get this cleaned up and put back in. It's a challenge to do so. And then as you can see, this black intake came off, and then that attaches to the top of that, and this attaches to the top of that metal box for the intake. But this does have an O-ring that seats against the inducer motor right here. Goes on right there, makes a nice tight seal for the air intake. And that came off. I'll make sure to get that back on there. So let me get this cleaned up, put back in, we'll go outside and check the venting outside. Alright, here's that little piece of glass that came out of the burner. Here's the front side. Here's the back side. And you really got to scrape the soot off. I mean, but any kind of ceramic glass or things that glass that's been exposed to heat, usually it's ceramic glass, what you want to clean it with is cooktop cleaner. I always carry this stuff in my truck. Just to get the glass nice and clean. And you notice how it's all fogged up. Let's see. I haven't used this stuff in a while, so I usually do a lot of fireplace work, gas fireplace. So now this thing's hard to clean because it's so darn small. got rid of most of it. Let me try getting some more on there. It's just so small and hard to clean. It's like rubbing compound for glass almost. Shines it up. I use, like I said, I do a lot of glass fireplaces, and this shines it up pretty good. This one's been neglected, so it's pretty, it's etched into the glass. But yeah, that's about as good as it's going to get. At least you don't see any, you can actually see through it now. If you were to use Windex, it wouldn't take it off at all. But cooktop cleaner for you know, gas-fired fireplaces that have the glass, and you notice that it gets sooty white. What you do is get all the soot white off there with some Windex, and then take this, and this will take the rust off there, and it'll come out looking brand new. So just a quick tip. Alright, let's go back in and put it back together. Okay, we got it back up and running, as you can see. Yeah, we got it lit. And let's see, that's the outlet. Nice and toasty. So, yeah, I can barely even hear this thing running. It's really quiet. So, we just got to order a flame sensor for it, and we got it cleaned up for the time being, so it should be good until we get back. So, I mean, this thing's about 6 years old, and, you know, I'm just going to order a sensor just for precaution. But, outside venting looked good. It's in pretty decent shape, not too bad. Just needs a little maintenance, probably needs a reverse flush. But this thing isn't set up for it. Usually we got the valve kits that go at the bottom of these tankless hot water heaters. Some people elect not to put them on because of the cost. I mean, they cost, I mean, our cost is probably $100 or so bucks just for the valves. And it is kind of pricey adding to the tankless hot water heater by itself, but that's it for this one until we get back and replace that sensor. Oops, got one thing I forgot here. This goes right here. And we're good to go. So this is a Bosch Aquastar. 175,000 BTU. So this is a GHW2400E NG, so it's natural gas. 175,000 BTU. I don't know the gallons per minute on it. You know, and it's gonna, gallons per minute is gonna depend on the actual water temperature coming into the heater. Guys down south don't really have this problem because their groundwater is pretty consistent. Our water in Michigan ranges from 35 degrees up to 60 degrees. So in Michigan, they're kind of, you know, we don't install too many of these heaters just because it's inconsistent on the flow with water. You know, because what will happen is, especially on the Nords units, it will restrict the flow, you know, depending on temp rise. So if it's trying to get, you know, 70 degrees temp rise out of, you know, the water, it's going to slow the flow down. So if it's going to slow the flow down, it's going to slow the flow down at the shower head or the faucet. So that's the only downfall of these in Michigan. So that's it for this one. Like and subscribe. Thanks.